Some things lie within our control, while others fall into the realm of fate, beyond our influence. The opinions, preferences, desires, and aversions manifested in our actions are, overall, subject to our dominion. However, elements such as the body, wealth, reputation, authority, which are unrelated to our actions, surpass our control. This is precisely the discourse with which the ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus opens his Handbook of Life. For the Stoics, achieving a fulfilling life undisturbed by the turmoil of the mind requires an understanding that certain things in our lives are under our dominion, while others exist beyond our control. Our responsibility is to focus our energy on those things we can influence, disregarding those beyond our grasp. One significant challenge faced by humanity is the opinions and judgments of others, which, no matter how hard we try, are almost impossible to avoid, bringing both positive and negative impacts. If you truly wish to avoid being swayed by them, you must recognize that the opinions of others, insults, or any form of personal attack are not within your dominion. Epictetus' teachings instruct us on how to respond when faced with becoming the target of insults. Thus, the purpose of this video is to distill teachings from the renowned work Handbook of Life, shaping a mindset that enables us to minimize or eliminate the various pains caused by others' judgments. Through Epictetus' 7 teachings, you will comprehend why there is no need to overly concern yourself with others' feelings, thereby reaching a state where opinions can inflict no harm. Lesson 1: Confronting insults and attacks. Remember, those who insult or strike at others are not the ones being insulted, the insulter is the party setting the standard for offense. Therefore, when someone provokes you, bear in mind that what triggers you initially is your personal perspective. Try not to be swayed by appearances, for once you give yourself some time to cool down, you will find it easier to regain control. The key to ceasing attention to others' opinions lies in understanding that insults or attacks fundamentally lack substantial harm. The emotional discomfort we feel is, in fact, a result of our response to the insult. When someone belittles you or disrespects you, they believe they can only harm you if you allow it. If you react negatively, the goal of insulting is achieved. However, if you stoically respond, completely unresponsive to the insult, the one who offends you will ultimately be at a disadvantage. Personal worth should be measured by one's ability to endure negative emotions, as unfortunately, that is a part of life. So, when you feel insulted or offended, ask yourself, do I want to win or lose? Am I willing to yield to things beyond my control? In Stoic philosophy, we can envision a metaphor similar to pleasure. If we hope to escape the troubles confused with pleasure, it cannot be achieved by satisfying desires. Desires will never disappear, they will accompany you until the end of your life. The real difference lies in how you deal with these desires, whether you succumb to them or ignore them. In this way, if you successfully avoid letting insults enrage you, afterward, you will feel satisfied, making yourself a nobler person, and you will be able to steadily move forward in adversity. Perhaps you'll recall those moments when your day, or even week, was ruined due to an uncontrollable negative opinion. Let me tell you, I understand your feelings because everyone has experienced this situation at some point. If you are facing such a situation, I encourage you to continue reading, as in the upcoming principles, we will delve deeper into this aspect related to self-control. Lesson 2: Resolute purpose. If you harbor a solid desire to pursue the path of philosophy, be prepared, for you will encounter mockery and hear people say, "How did he become a philosopher?" or "Where did this arrogant attitude come from?" Make sure you do not become a servant to such arrogance, holding on to beliefs that benefit you. Remember this: if you stand your ground, those who once mocked you will eventually admire you. However, if you are easily swayed by others, you will endure mockery. This principle is particularly crucial for those who ignore their true abilities in order to cater to different opinions. Epictetus tells us that if we give up on pursuing our goals because we fear others' opinions, we make ourselves absurd twice. First, because we attempted but failed to follow, and second, because we yielded to others' opinions. Do not misunderstand. Understand that if you feel ashamed due to failure or giving up on a goal, it is not a meaningless insult. The real issue is when a person succumbs because of fear of societal friction, fear of becoming a target. That is the true problem. Do you not think it's worth enduring mockery or questioning for a while to live a happy life according to your nature? Remind yourself that you will not let others' opinions define who you are and what achievements you can attain. I suggest, when making life decisions, consider your priorities and realize the true reasons behind your choices. Lesson 3: Fear and Shame. Do not worry about maintaining your identity in the eyes of others, because if our dignity depends on them, they have the power to make us unhappy, but the reality is different. They cannot force us to engage in unworthy things. Gaining power or being invited to feasts is their concern. After all, why does lacking power or lacking an invitation mean being a nobody? You always have an identity in those things under your control, where your decisions matter the most. This principle is highly relevant in today's era, where many times you sacrifice your true talents to please certain people, especially on social media. We can see how social approval on these platforms can be toxic, and we must ask ourselves, is it worth changing our authentic selves just for a bit of satisfaction? Is it worth placing the happiness of our souls in the hands of others? My answer is negative. If one day you are found doing something that makes you feel ashamed, but the act has no malice, should you care about others mocking you or even marginalizing you? What about the popularity it might bring? Does it truly bring satisfaction? If your happiness depends on how popular you are, you will live in conflict because your happiness is not in your hands. So you will live in constant tension, changing yourself to avoid losing status. Lesson 4: Would you give your body to a stranger? If someone were to hand their body over to the first stranger they meet along the way, you would undoubtedly feel anger. However, you have no issue surrendering your thoughts to chaos and deception in front of anyone. This principle revolves around the viewpoint we discussed earlier. Transforming insult into offense depends on you. As Epictetus said, you should have the same respect for your thoughts as you do for your body. I believe you wouldn't let strangers enter your home every day because you know it can bring danger. However, when you accept insult and treat it as offense, at that moment, that person has entered your thoughts and may linger there for days. So why do we allow these strangers into our thoughts, but never let them into our homes? To achieve a state where ignoring negative emotions from offense is possible, we need to build discipline and self-control. This should be applicable in all situations in life, including interactions with family. When you feel anger, control that fury, and you will save yourself a lot of unnecessary pain, feeling more comfortable. Trust me, dedicating yourself to improve this aspect could be a turning point in your life. Lesson 5: Rational Thinking. When facing criticism or challenges from others, do not get caught in the vortex of emotions. Rational thinking is a crucial skill that can help you stand firm, unaffected by others' words. When someone questions or criticizes you, don't become overly emotional. Instead, calmly consider their points. Rational thinking allows you to better understand others' opinions and provides an opportunity to respond with more powerful arguments. Through rational thinking, you will be able to free yourself from negative emotions, no longer letting others' words sway your inner self. This is not about abandoning concern for others' opinions, but learning to respond in a rational way, making yourself more steadfast and powerful. In this tumultuous world, rational thinking is a sturdy fortress, protecting you from the impact of external opinions. Lesson 6: Embrace change. Life is full of variables, and we find it challenging to control everything. Stoicism teaches us to accept change and learn to maintain inner tranquility amidst fluctuations. When unpredictable changes occur in life, do not panic. Instead, try to find opportunities and insights within them. Adapting to change is a form of wisdom that enables you to navigate various situations more flexibly. Embracing change does not mean giving up control over your life. On the contrary, it is an active mindset that allows you to better adapt to external changes. By accepting change, you will find it easier to adjust your behavior and thoughts, maintaining inner calm. This flexibility will become a powerful weapon for you as you progress through life. Lesson 7. Refuse to be controlled by others. Why let others' misunderstandings become your fear? As mentioned earlier, whether your happiness depends on popularity or the recognition of others will affect whether you stop pursuing what you believe is right. In this case, your actions are no longer for yourself but to please others. You should question whether such a life is worth it because the decision is entirely in your hands. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the individual and their virtues, deeply understanding oneself, understanding our values, and acting according to them, unaffected by external judgments. If someone hurts you or gossips about you, remember they act based on their belief in what is right. They might think you will act in a way contrary to their understanding, so their criticism is based on a misunderstanding of you. In this situation, you are not acting for others, but for yourself. You need to ask yourself if such a life is worth it, as this decision entirely depends on you. Stoicism encourages us to focus on ourselves and our virtues, gaining a deep understanding of ourselves, understanding our values, and acting according to them, regardless of how others perceive us. Lesson 8. Face variables, stay prepared. Life is full of uncertainties, and we cannot control everything. Stoicism teaches us to accept change and learn to maintain inner tranquility amidst uncertainty. When facing unpredictable changes in life, do not panic. Instead, try to find opportunities and insights within them. Adapting to change is an expression of wisdom, allowing you to navigate various situations more flexibly. By accepting change, you will find it easier to adjust your behavior and thoughts, maintaining inner calm. This flexibility will become a powerful weapon for you as you progress through life. Predict challenges to better confront them. This practice helps maintain a calm and clear mindset, even in the most challenging moments, keeping emotional resilience. Anticipating challenges, being mentally prepared for possible criticism, judgment, or negative opinions is not about indulging in pessimism or fear, but strengthening emotional resilience and cultivating a mindset to handle challenges. By reflecting on potential negative events, we can formulate more effective coping strategies and action plans. We can also cultivate emotional detachment from outcomes, realizing that we cannot always control external events. In the face of challenges, this preparation enables us to respond to external opinions with composure and determination. Lesson 9. No one can hurt you unless you allow it. This applies not only to your father, brother, or neighbor, but maintaining an attitude toward them without considering their behavior, focusing on your actions to preserve your freedom aligns with nature. If you do not allow it, no one can hurt you. They can only hurt you if you believe you are hurt. So, you should not focus on the objects of discomfort, but on how you handle it. In every interaction of your life, you must internalize the following information. You know what happens in your mind. If someone disrespects you in any way through their pitiful external analysis, do not spend a minute giving it to them. It benefits your life in no way. The only thing that might happen is your emotions being affected. How long do you plan to take to become more progressive and follow rational guidance? You already have philosophical principles, you should be familiar with them. Are you still waiting for other mentors to start correcting yourself? You are no longer a child, but an adult. If you continue to be negligent, lazy, always procrastinating, making excuses, your life will not attract attention. Making no progress, and you will remain a child until you die. This means you need to cherish your actions, pay attention to your inner voice, and seek your growth in every decision in life. Do not let others' negative opinions influence your values, because only you truly understand yourself. By sticking to your principles, you will welcome a more fulfilling and self-directed life, no longer controlled by external opinions. Remember, you are only hurt when you allow others' opinions to affect you. Therefore, maintain awareness and control over yourself. You will become the master of your life, not passively accepting others' definitions. This is the essence of Stoicism, a rational way of life that allows you to maintain inner tranquility amid the waves of the external world. By learning to face challenges and maintaining inner peace, you will find it easier to achieve your goals, no longer swayed by the opinions of others. Cherish your inner self, embrace Stoicism, and become someone who truly masters their own destiny. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next video, stay tuned.